So it's a big commitment. It takes up a lot of space in your computer to make the whole file. Upload it's just like
that's what I ran into. I had another podcast where I would try to make a YouTube version, and then I just made a YouTube version after I decided like more people were listening to it there anyway.
Yeah.
But it's still a 2.5 hour video
right.
that has to encode, and I figured it would be faster because there's no moving picture, but it is faster. It's still long enough that I'm like,
That's what's kept us from it as well.
Yeah, it's just the time commitment, you know. Anyway, I just want to say the very first Vangelist Bobby Skullface collaboration is complete because now I have a real Nitro Zeus.
All your dreams have come true.
I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with this. Oh, I feel so good. Anyway, that was the Mysterious Fun segment for real. But actually, I had one other thing I was going to do that I thought would apply great to you guys because I got a listener question in where I believe I know the answer for all of the people on my podcast. I'm going to presume to know their lives well enough to think that this question would be more interesting to pose to all of you. I also am being asked if I'm enjoying Docs, the app I use to look at Google Docs. So I'm going to dismiss that because I'm not enjoying rating apps. So annoying. Anyway, this question came to me from one Spine98, who I think I might have read his last question at a podcast panel as well, but I'm not sure. So if so, then I apologize to Mr. Spine98. But he said, hello podcast group, and he was talking about how we were talking about the upcoming Power of the Primus Grimlock, and specifically that like his dinosaur hips are ridiculous because they're out to here. His upper body is a little dinosaur, his tail's a little dinosaur, and then his legs just keep going outwards, and then are little dinosaur legs. So he was saying the problem probably doesn't bother him that much because usually he keeps stuff in robot mode, except for Grimlocks, because to him Grimlock's a T-Rex. So he wants the T-Rex mode to look good. So his question was, what mode do you tend to display your Transformers in? Have you ever purchased multiple of the same figure so you could show more than one mode on your shelf? So I heard more noise over here, so let's start over.
I usually do robot mode. There's a few exceptions, those being the Dinobots and the characters that were more often represented in their alternate mode. So if how you connect to that character is more often seen in the dinosaur mode, it makes sense to have them displayed that way. However, that being said, I own 2 sets of Fans Toys Dinobots because I need to see them in both modes at all times.
Fans Toys.
Yeah, I agree. If it's a really good figure that you really like, Fans Toys Phoenix for me. I have 2 of them, one for robot, one for vehicle. Most of mine are in robot mode in my displays or on my shelves. But there has been the case where I purchased a figure, say a Jazz, and a year down the line a better looking Jazz comes out, and then I'll be like, oh well, I'll just put the one I don't like as much in vehicle mode and we'll leave it at that. So that's how sometimes I end up having a vehicle in a robot mode, is just because I have another one that now isn't the best Jazz on my shelf, so I turn that into a vehicle mode.
I have many times toyed with the idea now and then, especially for a figure I really like. Like maybe I should just get another one because I like this toy so much. But usually if I like a toy a whole lot, 8 times out of 7, it ends up getting repainted. And that satisfies that for me. Like Koltor is my favorite Mastermind Creations toy, and he's also going to be Thunderclash, which is a character I really like. And he's this asterisk mode, which is specifically the goofy colorway I was hoping they would do for a convention. So I don't need another Koltor. I've already got 3. How about over here?
99% of the time I do display in robot mode. I guess Dinobots are probably the exception if I'm in the mood. One thing I have pondered, and this is I don't know if I want to go down this slippery slope, is to display Unicron in planet mode hung from the ceiling. So but if I do that, do I do it with Primus? And here we go. God knows what's going to be hanging from the ceiling 6 months later. I am freeing up shelves. It's like a new world, above my head.
You can put Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge on the hanging Unicron.
See, this is the problem.
Free up even more shelves.
This is the problem. I'm recreating half the movies above my head. But I do have a question. Do any of you guys, or have you guys, ever hung Transformers from the ceiling? like alt mode or whatnot. Okay, so I got a few. I'm scared, guys, but I have thought about that. That's the one where I'm really tempted to put Unicron up high above.
I just feel like I'd walk into him, like, all that spiky stuff sticking off. Yeah.
I favor Bob mode, but honestly, my wife for Christmas last year bought me not a detolf, but a fancier one for our living room. And so every month I go through and rotate the toys, and whatever alteration there, and I change them. So I'm always rotating.
Yeah. That's like my dream for a detail, is to have a rotating display. And I always plan it out, and then suddenly it's 3 months later and I still haven't done it.
Mostly robot mode, but for stuff like Cybertron Speed Planet or Beast Planet, I'll go and put those thematically in their alt modes because it's just better represents what was going on with that show.
I also find combiners to be a bit tricky. Like, I find myself wanting them combined and individual bots. Like, I want to see that.
I was going to kick that question back to you because like I just finished the Poseidon,
Yeah.
everyone as well. Put them together and like this is cool. All 6 of those individual modes are kind of cooler, and I put them on a double shelf.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with this.
My new approach is to buy one set from one company for the combined and another set to experience the 2 sets for the robot. And then I buy it myself and buy the 3rd set.
You need that for the vehicles.
Yeah, that's what I tell them.
And then you need the other one to have a second combined mode who's facing the other way.
I'm buying that Zeta Toys Bruticus, and that's going to be my Bruticus, and I'm buying the Unique Toys Combaticons for, you know what I mean? And then I get to experience both sets. I think they're both going to accomplish different goals differently and more appropriately. So, you know, it kind of scratches both itches for me. 2 birds, 1 stone.
I forgot to mention the part about what mode I display in. Usually, the problem with me is I don't have a lot of display space, and I'm okay with stackable storage containers, so often I display them in the most compact mode they can assume, so they can safely occupy a small enclosed space with each other. But when they're on a shelf, usually it's robot mode, and it feels like such a go-to answer, but I think it's because often the robot mode, like, you know, with Dinobots being in Dino mode, it's when you're putting them on display, then you are usually thinking about the character, unless you're doing a diorama approach. And so, yeah, robot mode seems to be really common. My fellow WTF podcasters, as far as I know, are exactly the same as me. Robot mode or in storage boxes because they've run out of space, except for Dinobots. That brings us to our next segment. By the way, thank you again for letting me use this, because I was about to ask if anyone here had scissors. But I dug the scissors out of the Letterman, and now I feel powerful. Like, this paper is now decidedly weaker than I am. I feel stronger than it. Let's talk about the other big part of your convention, especially a toy convention. Your big gets of the show. So I kind of like this circle that we're going in. If you guys don't feel it's too repetitive, for going back over there again.
Sure. We got to the show a little early, and Greenwalkins on Twitter was doing these custom figures here for very reasonable prices, and I could not pass up on the greatest captain of all time. Get away here. There you go. A little louder next time.
Sometimes Mutiny's right.
So I like supporting the artists, and these were a lot of fun. So this is kind of the thing I'm walking away from the show with.
You have something?
What?
You have something out there.
I do. I'm going to show it. I'm not just going to talk about it.
Holy crap!
You don't want to hear me talk about anything for too long.
You're assuming a voice.
I'm big into art. Yeah. I'm big into art. Casey Collar was here. He's one of my favorite artists. And I asked him to homage a particular Todd McFarlane book for me, where Batman is replaced with Coronation Starscream. So this sucks. I'm sorry. But I'll leave it out if you guys want to come up afterwards and take a look at it. But it is fantastic.
That's the limits of the room. That's what we can do.
You guys can check it out. But that's my favorite thing I pulled out this week. And
That's badass.
right?
For me, it was Coulter Asteroid mode, just because I braved the Saturday morning rush and politely stood in a very winding line, and I made it out alive with the Coulter. So that was awesome. By the way, it might have been like a massive fire hazard, but Saturday morning was awesome as far as like just the rush of people, and I was really impressed, and it was just a really great. It was a great time in the dealer room. Like I said,
I heard it was shoulder to shoulder.
It was not pretty, but it was fun. It was totally fun. And so that my big get was surviving the great line of Saturday morning.
Cool. I think my big get, like one of them is I got one of those alligator Megatrons as well. I've seen Rewalkamus and his stuff on Twitter constantly, and I think I missed out on a chance to get a hold of something at a convention before. So I jumped at the chance. It's really nicely done. Like I've just been getting into trying to do figure painting more myself, and then I look at that and I'm like, well, this is leagues beyond where I'm at with my like mixing lacquers and acrylics and shooting myself in the face with aerosol. That didn't actually fall in my head. I don't remember anymore. Fumes are great, but other than that, finishing Poseidon. Now it's over. How about you?
I didn't get much. I got a couple T-shirts and a rock box from Remember Collectors. That's all I got now. You know, it's like most of what I want, I'm gonna pre-order. So it's it's very rare that I need something in. I would have been interested in the exclusives, but none of the exclusives were really for me this year, which is fine. But yeah, so I didn't buy much. I was tempted to buy the 3 monster bots from Fans Hobby. That's funny. And I'm going back and forth, and with the devil on my shoulder still, so I haven't made that decision.
I picked up Striker Manus just because it's an older figure, but I think at the time when it came out, I was prioritizing other stuff in front of it, and then I was like, oh, this figure's hard to get now. I better get it if I can. So that was here, and I was happy to pick that up. And then they announced the rest or more of the Cross Dimensions line, and they put a Jetfire in there. So I have to get that, and then I'm like, well, Rider Despotron's kind of in the middle there. If I'm going to start, collecting this, I don't want to call it a wave, but this, iteration of figures, this new dimensional class.
A cross-dimensional class?
A cross-dimensional class from whatever universe or timeline it's from.
Toys that are made
Toys.
without a cross-dimensional class?
I think it may be from Planet X. It's a different company. But yeah, so I picked up those 2, which now they're eagerly going to await their Jetfire to come out. So
did you open Manus up yet?
I did not, but I played with Manus at TFcon Toronto 2 years ago, and it was really enjoyable, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get it. And like I said, when it came out, there must have been a bunch of other stuff coming out at the same time, and it just got put onto the back burner.
Everyone's got that same reaction. It's like, oh, I've seen this before. And you kind of mess with it, you keep messing with it, and it's like, that's fun.
It's a really good action.
Yeah, I'm kind of overjoyed that Cross Dimension showed signs of life at that third-party reveal panel. Both 2 Make Toys things make me happy. With that and more Galaxy Force stuff, which I had written off as being dead. I thought the interest wasn't there. I used to be more optimistic about non-G1, non-movie stuff in third-party companies like being successful. The animated stuff kind of tanking, Galaxy Force stuff kind of tanking. That beautiful thing finally coming out. I'm really happy that these other aesthetics are at least getting the legwork, or at least Make Toys has the bucket of money for them to just go like, well, we're gonna make it anyway. I don't know.
I have to go.
Yeah, Mommy's gotta get going.
I thought this was an hour thing, and I stood seeing doing arts and crafts, and I'm not sure how long it's gotta go, but I gotta pick up my girls. I got 3 girls, and I've been away from them all weekend, and I want to have 1 drink before I go. I'm not gonna drive. Don't worry about my safety. I'll be fine.
That's gonna finish cutting through these last bits, and then we'll be done.
Thank you guys for having me. All great shows here, and TFcon is fantastic. I think it's important, especially with the company that owns this brand. I think it's important to have a convention fan run for fans. So I appreciate TFcon, and check out the Cool Table Network, and I love you, and for the kids. I only want to come here, please.
Right? How was his venue? How'd you guys find this venue?
Yeah!
Holy crow, right?
I would love if it was here forever.
Yeah, I was impressed by this place. Thanks for coming out, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Hope you have a good trip back.
You guys are good guys. Beautiful people.
Yeah! Anyway.
The other thing I forgot to mention is Meteor. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Another Make Toys product that I did not know was going to be here. I did not know release was imminent, and it was released. So,
Yeah, I lucked out on that thing because I like Galaxy Force a lot. And I was kind of after that thing, and I was okay with missing it because I was like, it'll come out online as well. But then I walked by Chosen Prime, and they were saying something about they found another case of them, and they were still $100. So I said, well, I have $100. Here you go. Took it up to my room because true story. I have terrible luck when I buy stuff at TFcon from Chosen Prime, and I hate it because I like those guys a lot. But I just always end up picking the bad one. So I ran up to my room and going, all right, let's see if this happens again. So I pulled open Galaxy Meteor, transformed him, and I had that as someone who was really like, oh man, I'm kind of this whole campaign around it. Please bring it back. I'm like, it's getting a bit much. It's just a figure. I transformed it, and I was like, the thing on the back of the legs with the accordion spring load stuff. I was like, all right, maybe this is really cool.
It is cool.
But yeah, while we're moving into our next segment, which is okay. I need the help of someone to fill in our freshly emptied seat. His name is Joe Ichabod. He's an honorary member of WTF and TFW, in that he is our guy who covered BotCon 2015, because none of us went. So
the last and final.
He's also from some podcast called Pre-Order 66 that used to run before it was taken into an alleyway and shot in the head.
Yeah.
By its creator.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hi, everybody.
What's up?
Hi, Joe. Thanks for giving Vandals that figure for the review panel.
Oh, yes! I asked people to do that to Joe, who were at the fan media panel, and apparently at least now 5 people have done it. That makes me real happy. He's number 5?
Yeah. Matrix is number 1, so I don't know if that counts.
Okay, well, he was on the panel. That means he was listening to me, which helps.
Yeah.
So, I guess. We're about ready to get this raffle going with this incredibly high-tech solution I've had to dealing with only having half a set of about maybe, I don't know how many. I think I have enough for the room. If I don't, I really do apologize. We've got multiple raffle prizes, and basically Big Spring is going to be one draw, then the rest of the prizes will be a pool for another draw. Did anyone else manage to get anything together, or have any junk in their pockets that they'd like to get rid of in this fashion?
I have some research.
Well, we don't want to raffle literal garbage.
Okay.
Maybe figurative garbage, but not literal garbage. I do have some more prizes, though, so I'll go through what they are with all of you. So we've got Big Spring. That's our big, valuable prize. We've also got 2 copies of the Transmissions cover of Till All Are One #1. This is exclusive to Transmissions by Sarah P. And we've also got, from Transformers Go, mint and sealed box, Jinbu. He's the iconic Autobot Jinbu.
Jinbu, what's the matter with you?
This is one of the 3 Autobots who combine, well, they were all Autobots, weren't they? One of the 3 guys from the first triple combiner from Transformers Go. He's the one with the cool cone head. The reason why I have this is because I found one for cheap and I thought I wasn't getting the pre-order mini-con he came with. And then turns out he did. So I've had this spare Jinbu in a closet for literally years. So I decided that maybe it's time to pass it on to someone else who can maybe do something cool with it, pass it on to someone else themselves. Basically, I want to get the Jinbu out of my life.
You realize this is the cost of it maybe being set on fire.
That's fine.
Okay.
Transformers Go was unfortunately not excellent. I really wanted it to be.
Well, no, I'm not getting it, so it won't be set on fire.
Unless, hey, who knows? The way I've set up this raffle, there's a good chance one of us might somehow win something.
Great.
Also, toyetically,
That doesn't sound good at all.
is there a box of granola bars? Oh, there it is. All right. Anyway, I've also got a deluxe Titans Return Twin Twist. I can write you a certificate of authenticity if you want. It's a rare variant who has 2 right hands. It's a variant. It's rare. He's been expertly repackaged, so that basically looks like he's in a sealed box. Basically looks like it's a sealed box.
Until he hits the microphone.
If you have a piece of tape, you can make them look even more sealed. So that's another prize we got here. And if you do want me to write you a certificate of authenticity, let me know, because I do have some paper here and a Sharpie. Also, for those of you who, so this stuff is all like the, you win, then you come up and choose something that you like. Because this one, if you're allergic to peanuts, you can't pick this one. I also have some Nature Valley sweet and salty granola bars. Minted sealed box of 5. They're chewy with granola bars dipped in peanut butter coating. Not peanut butter. It's a peanut butter coating, so it is a coating that is like peanut butter. Doesn't mean it is peanut butter. Nonetheless, if you're allergic, you probably shouldn't do that. And then, finally, this is thanks to a fellow named Brentasaur. I don't know if anyone follows him on Twitter, but I bought some stuff off him, and he's a generous guy. He just threw in a bunch of things he said he had that he didn't want. And he says, I don't know if you have them already, but if you do, then do something with them. So this is the thing that he threw in that I already had. This is a Titans Return Tidal Wave from the Siege on Cybertron set with the iconic black aerial bots from G1, the nefarious Decepticon team we all remember and love. And this is another prize. This has been transformed exactly once to make sure that it doesn't break. It has those wonderful stock Hasbro stickers on it. And I've already, for you, run my fingernail on them to make them all mush into all the sculpted details so they at least somewhat resemble a paint app.
You should have used a spudger.
I left it up in the room again. He gave me a spudger, and it's the best thing. And then I left it. I put it in the Ziploc with the freezer, the ice cube tray, and then I keep forgetting to bring it with me to panels.
The best part about this is they put a sticker over one of the holes that's meant for transformation for this to tap into. So if you push hard enough, it rips the sticker.
You want to use a little knife or something and just carve the sticker out there.
It's like a void if punctured sticker from Hasbro.
That's how you know this is C10. Is that what they call it? So I got these little tickets with numbers on them. I tried to pull out, there were a few duplicates in here, I guess, from the last raffle. So could someone give me a hand? Maybe 2 people give me a hand? And hand these out to however many people we have here. Hopefully we have enough. If we don't, again, I super apologize. If we run low, then I don't know, like figure out if you really want to take it or not.
If you want a ticket.
And while we're up here, I just wanted to throw a thanks out to TFcon for letting us do this panel once again.
And a thank you for Evangelist for all the panels that he's run throughout the show. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's really all thanks to TFcon. I pitch the panels. I try to do it confidently, which is usually a lie. And they let me do them, which I really appreciate. I love doing panels. I love interacting with more folks who are coming to the show and making something hopefully vaguely conversational out of this, even though I am on a raised stage behind a table with a microphone. Other than that, it's basically equal.
They just let anyone up here though.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, just curious, while you guys were walking around, did anyone actually just spot the mohawk in the dealer room? Did anyone then go like, well, I better stay away from that weirdo?
I was wondering where Rocksteady was.
Mohawk here. Really brightly colored mohawk here.
As I want to give some props for a well-maintained, well-hued mohawk.
Thank you.
No problem. Also, one extra thanks to TFcon for letting us do this specific panel where their show is over, but they're letting us sit in here anyway and do this post show. I really appreciate that because I think it's fun. You know, if like all of you, I assume, just want to chill out, relax a little bit, you know, cool down from the show, and then maybe win a granola bar. So thanks to all of you for coming out to this. Because if there was no one here, then it would be really weird because I'd still be doing all this. I'd still be talking to all the empty chairs.
It's like we say when we podcast, like we do it because it's fun, and you know there is a lot of work to it, but we do it because it's fun. We like to talk about our hobby and our toys, and but honestly, if we didn't have listeners, we would probably at one point go like, we really shouldn't be doing this if no one wants to listen to it.
All right, so I think we got all the raffle tickets out. It seems like we had enough. If a duplicate is out there, then we'll have you guys rock, paper, scissors. There shouldn't be any. Well, I'm cool with that. But the organizers they're like, no violence, no throwing rocks, no throwing a podcaster over the table to test their buoyancy. You know, they're like, you can't review the guests as though they're toys.
Yeah. Don't turn the podcast upside down. It's not so.
We tried. James Roberts came up here when we were done. We tried. I was like, who wants to be my left hand to try out his articulation?
You look very uncomfortable.
I did apologize to him afterwards when I bumped into him by the elevator.
It might just come down to the strap.
All right, so we've got the Open and Play Big Spring box with the tickets in it. After we're done, whoever wins Open and Play Big Spring, we're also going to throw all the raffle tickets in here. So I'm sure that's valuable to you. Joe, let's get you to do the first pull.
All right.
Great. We're going to pull for him last. So we're going to do all the fun, goofy stuff first. Or do you want us to pull for him first?
Yeah, everybody's trying to get that one.
Okay, we'll pull for him first. I'm easy.
So we're about to disappoint everyone in this room but one person.
Please don't leave afterwards because you might win granola bars. All right, you pull the grand prize. Oh yeah, last 3 digits.
084. Do we have a 084?
What? Full disclosure, Matt over there Facebook messaged me during the panel to say, hey, do you want to just use an RNG? But I was already, by the time I saw your message, I was halfway through cutting through all the things. All right, so Matt won the Big Spring. It's here. You know where to find me. Yeah. All right. The upside is that the winner of the grand prize, I also, I know that he knows that I'm messing around if I take this and just throw it behind me. Like, he knows I'll go and pick up most of it. All right, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other prizes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we got enough for at least to do one. For us each to do one, that's addiction.
All right, another 0, 5, 2.
Hey! All right, come on up and take your choice of whichever one of these you want. Granola bars are pretty tasty.
And you also get to keep your raffle ticket.
All right. You going for tidal wave?
No, I don't.
All right, tidal wave has been claimed. All right.
082.
Hey! Sorry, you gotta travel all the ways. With all that travel you're doing, might I interest you in some nutritious peanut butter granola bars?
They're sweet and salty.
You have to be a hero and hand them out as you go back to your seat.
All right, do you want a certificate of authenticity? Okay, fine. Factory error.
Really?
Yeah, we just had 2 right hands installed.
That never happened.
Yeah,
There's no such thing as a Hasbro factory error.
I didn't notice for 2 days. So I went to take pictures and I was like, what's up with his thumb? Why has he got a thumb on his orange knuckle and a knuckle for fingers. Oh no! And so I was like, well, surely this must be a common defect. So I went to Twitter, put up a photo, like, well, I got one of these two who's got one of the two left-handed ones? Silence. Actually, no, not silence. A mixture of silence and laughter. And I was like, do people think I'm like, maybe people think I did this on purpose?
I'm just glad it happens to someone else because I always think it's me. I'm like, it's me again.
Yoshi, you want to pull our next one?
Sure.
Zero, 8, 0.
080. Oh, we got someone. Hey! We've got the choice of Jinbu, the exclusive transmissions cover, or some delicious peanut butter granola bars.
Jinbu, what's the matter with you? You're not like the other Jinbus.
I mean, Jinbu is a full-on toy. All right. I was kind of hoping someone would pick granola bars before they picked Jinbu.
Transformers, what? I've never heard of that.
Just a burn on Jinbu.
If those are the oats and honey ones, I would have.
Jinbu's fine.
He's not fun.
He's fine.
He's gone.
When he's by himself, he's fine. I don't want to make her feel crappy about it. He's a cool warrior monk who turns into a jet. He's got a big spear, and if you want, he can also turn into arms.
He's almost Sunstorm.
Or legs. Or a belly. He has like 5 modes. So anyway.
Are you having givers remorse?
I have a Jinbu. I have my own Jinbu. I love him very much, except that I don't remember where I put him.
He's in a plastic tote.
Alright, 066, and get you some granola.
Well, he's also 2 issues from comic.
No, that was an option.
Actually, I do want the granola.
I feel really good.
I wanted the twin twist because I couldn't find one this weekend, but
I feel really good. We somehow kept someone from the twin twist, but also gave out granola bars. All right, I'll pull the next one. So this is for one of 2 issues of Till All Are One, number 1, exclusive cover. The number is 060.
Don't everybody.
Oh, did we just do a double? Oh no. Oh. Joe.
What?
That's your friend.
I don't know him.
That's your friend.
I don't know
I've
him.
seen you two hanging out for the whole show.
That's my dad.
Hey!
Well, thank you, sir. You're my favorite person.
He's actually one of my favorite people.